Well, that's fine. And now, Betty, as one of the 3 flying Huttons, will you answer a slew of command performance requests and strafe us with that 50 caliber tune? He says murder, he says.
Finally found a fella almost completely divine, but his vocabulary is killing this romance of mine. We get into an intimate situation, and then begins this Romeo's conversation. He says murder, he says, every time we're kids, he says murder, he says, at a time like this, he says murder, he says, is that the language of love? He says solid, he says, takes him in his arms and says solid, he says, meaning all the charms, he says solid, he says, is that the language of love? He says chick, chick, you torture me, zoo, are we living? I'm thinking of leaving him flat. He says dig, dig, the jump the old ticker is given. No, he gets on plainer than that. He says murder, he says, every time we kiss, he says murder, he says, keep it up like this and that, murder, he says, in that impossible tone, will bring on nobody's murder but his own. He says Jackson, he says, and my name's Marie, he says Jackson, he says, shoot the snoot to me, he says Jackson, he says, is that the language of love? He says walk, walk, he says, when he likes my hat, he says, what the heck is that? He says, woo-hoo, he says, is that the language of love? He says pep, pep, we're helium now, babe, we're cooking, and other expressions to it. He says we're into groove, and the groove is good looking. He sounds like his uppers don't fit. He says murder!
Yes, sir, a vitamin pill with legs. How about that? Thanks, Betty Hutton. And also the 370th Army Air Force Band of the San Bernardino Air Service Command. Well, gang, command performance has filled many an order for those sounds that remind you of home.